Hello everybody and welcome to another awesome Hayday video. My name is Jennifer and here on YouTube I go by GizmoSpike. So in today's video, I would like to talk to you all about the town hall settings. I recently discovered during one of my live streams that there are quite a few of you that are unaware that the town hall has various settings that you are able to change to help you better organize your townies. This feature was introduced with the June 2018 update and in my opinion was a great feature to add to the town as it makes working on your town so much easier, especially when you have a town derby task. Instead of having to scroll through all of your townies to find what you're looking for, you have the ability to sort them to find people or buildings much more easily. So let's take a look at the various settings that you can change in the town hall and how they can help you make your town experience so much better. So first, to understand the settings, we need to understand the different tabs. They're pretty straightforward, so I'll just briefly go over them. So starting from left to right, you have the All tab. And what this does here is it shows you everyone that is in your town, whether they are ready, whether they are being served, whether they are waiting, or idle. Then you have the Idle tab, which shows you everyone that has arrived into your town and is waiting to be put into a building to be served. The Waiting tab, and I don't have any visitors currently in there right now, but the Waiting tab would be that, let's see, after you have sent a visitor somewhere, let's choose the grocery store here, you will see that they are waiting to be served in the grocery store and they're walking over to the grocery store. The Serving tab would be that after I have started serving said visitor, you would see that they are being served there in the tab. The Ready tab shows everyone that is been finished being served in your town. And then the Leaving tab shows everyone who would be over here waiting on your platform, whether they would be going home or whether they would be able to be picked up to go to another town. Now that you guys know what all the tabs are, let's go into the settings. So if you look at the little cog wheel here on the left-hand part, you click on that, and you're going to have a bunch of different things you can change in here. So it starts with the All tab sorting order. You can either choose in the All tab to group people by the number of buildings left or by townie type. So by number of buildings left would mean if you had people that still needed to be served and it would show you whether or not you had to serve them in 3 buildings, 2 buildings, or 1 building. I never use the All tab sorting ever. Like I never use that tab. So I've never changed this. It's still on the by number of buildings left. I suppose I could put it on by townie type, but for me, it doesn't really have a purpose for me because I don't use it. If you, however, though, like to see a big snapshot of exactly what is going on in your town, I would suggest having it by the number of buildings left, because then this way you would be able to see then of your idle people here and between your being served, how many buildings you have to have left for them to be served in. So as you can see, Peter would be on top here because he's only gonna have 1 building left afterwards. And then you've got the 2 and the 3. So if you had a lot of idle people, that's how I would have it grouped, because you would be able to see then like how you have it. But for me, I feel like me personally, the Idle tab or the All tab is not super useful. The one that I use the most is definitely the Idle tab, and that's important to me, and that's why I have this grouped how this is. So after the All tab sorting order, your next option that you can change here is the Idle tab sorting order, and you can choose to again sort them between the number of buildings left and by townie type. Now I have them grouped by townie type versus the number of buildings left. So if we go back in here, you can see that it keeps my townies together. So I have one master, one teacher. I've got a dancer, a mechanic, and a lady all here. I could go in there and I could change this and I could make it by buildings left. If I clicked on the green arrow and then went back, and it would just show it. But to me, then this could be good. So remember that you can change your settings to suit what you need it to suit in that moment. So if you have a train task in your derby and you need to collect, however many people, 22, and you want to see how many buildings you have left to serve people in, this is definitely the best way to do it for sure. Have it grouped by the buildings left. So okay, these guys here, I only need to serve them in one more building. So I'm going to put all these people in first. That is a much more efficient way to do it. Now, however, if you have a town task that is by a specific townie type, and you need to see, how many of the teachers that you have to see if you want to take a task, then you would group them together so you can see, okay, well, I have 2 teachers here. So I'm going to be able to, I have 2 of those. So I'll put her in there and I can, take that task, or I won't take that task because I only have 2 teachers left. So the next one would be in the waiting tab sorting order. I barely ever use the waiting tab because people don't stay in the waiting tab. And I would imagine that that's kind of how it's like for all of you guys as well. Once we have taken a townie and put them into a building to be served, I normally go and I serve them right away. So the order that they're in doesn't really matter that much for me. I mean, as you can see, there's nobody in there now, because if I had people in there, they'd all be in serving or they'd be in ready or leaving. So for that, again, that's really a preference thing. It could be helpful to do it by either townie type or building type, depending on the task that you have. If you have a grocery store task and you want to start serving all those people first before you serve your bed and breakfast, then by all means sort that for a building type so that you can get all those guys in there first and make sure they're all served first. So you can change these as often or as little as you want to based on your needs at that moment. But I don't really think the waiting tab is all that useful most of the time. So serving tab has 3 different choices that you can choose from. And you can do serving according to time left, by townie type, or by building type. I have mine set as serving according to time left. That is how I have it 99.9% of the time. And for me, that is the best option to choose, because I can then go in and I can see who's going to be ready the soonest, especially if I'm on a train task. Now, if I was on a specific building task or if I was on a specific townie task, then I could switch them by townie type or by building type so that I could see then how much time is left, for those specific people. But I think keeping it on the according to time left for the majority of the time would be the way that you're going to want to go with the settings for this one. But again, change it how it is, makes it easy for you though. All right, then we have the ready tab, which we have 2 options to choose from. We can either sort it by townie type or by a building type. So I normally keep it by townie type. So you can see I have a lot of people ready. If you guys have never seen, actually the very, very first video I ever made on this channel was about how I work the town. You guys should go watch that. It's kind of cringe because it's my first video and it's not the greatest, but it still gives really good information. The information in there is solid. Maybe the quality of the video is not so great, but the information in there is definitely solid for sure. But so my derby is technically over. I've already completed all of my 10 tasks. So I could collect these if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because I only really play the town for derby or for events. So for me, I keep it with the townies all sorted together because this way, if I get let's see, or if I want to pick a cowboy task and I know I need to collect 9 of them, I can say, okay, let me jump to my ready tab and let me count how many cowboys I have left. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm like, oh, I have 5 of the 9 that I would need. So I would only need 4 more cowboys. So yeah, I'll take that task. That's super easy. And then the same goes for if you get a grocery store task and you want to see before you, or if there's a grocery store task on your derby board and you want to see beforehand how many people you have that are already ready to be collected from your grocery store, then sort it by that. And then you can jump in and you can say, okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 grocery stores. I need 16. So, yeah, they start fast, but maybe I don't really want to do that. Let me go see, if my neighbors have like people that I could pick up. But you can make then a decision before you take that task. So rather than having everyone scattered kind of all over the place, you can group them how you want to make your life easier. So I'm going to actually put that back to the townie type because that's bothering me a little bit because I like having the townies grouped together unless I'm looking for a specific building. And then for your leaving, there is no sorting for the leaving because there's nothing that you can do with that. If I had a suggestion for Hayday to add, if they were going to add a settings to the town hall for the leaving tab, I would suggest that they have it grouped by people that are going home and people that will be available to be picked up by your neighbors in your neighborhood, because I think that would be a great option to add, because sometimes you don't always you don't know who's getting picked up, or like who my neighbor can pick up or who's just going to go home. So that would be a really good option to add if they wanted to add something else. But those are my settings. Again, you guys should absolutely set yours how it is it's going to make your life the easiest, because that's all about how this game should be played. It should be played how you like to play it, not based on how I like to play it. But there you have it. Those are your settings and your options that you have available to you. I hope that this was helpful. Like I said, in my live stream about 2 weeks ago, I had gone in and I had changed the sorting because I forget what task I had. And people were like, wait, you could change the options in there? You can sort them? And I was like, yeah. And people's minds were kind of blown. So I hope that there are some of you guys that, well, it's kind of weird. I hope that there are some of you guys that did not know that this existed and that you guys aren't like, Jennifer, we already knew about this. Why are you telling me about this? But I hope it was helpful. And I hope that you're like, yes, now I can switch this and change this and it's going to make my derby so much easier. So let me know in the comments below. I really do want to know how many of you guys knew about the settings abilities and how many of you guys did not know about the settings abilities. I'm definitely super curious. And I hope that if you did not know about it, that you're definitely going to go in there and organize them right now. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, remember that it is free to subscribe to a channel on YouTube, but it will make me very, very happy. And if you are going to go and buy diamonds inside of your shop, I would really appreciate it if you would enter in code GIZMO, GIZMO, before you make a diamond purchase, because I do get a small percentage that Supercell will give me from their profits every time you guys buy any diamonds or buy any of the special diamond deco packs and stuff like that. So I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Happy farming. Weeding is, of course, life. Peace.